Well, hey Pisces, how about a reading from your metal dog today? I'm doing the mutable signs and I'm thinking about how you help us go from winter into spring. And so, mutable signs, that is your job in the collective, that you help us with these transitions. But also, there's just a lot happening. And let's find out what's going on with you, and we'll get into this reading and I'll tell you more. All right. Okay, we've had a lot of planets in Pisces, and now it's kind of clearing out, and it's just you and Neptune, right? But let's see what's going on here. All right, a Knight of Voices. Bringing the truth forward. Beautiful image of a Pegasus. Also, we can see a kind of eclipse. We are in eclipse season. The moon there. It's like a moon and a bunch of clouds and the sun shining out from that. The light, I think, representing the truth. But it also has that kind of Neptunian imagination feel to it as well. I'm trying to make the line of white straight there. Okay, looking at the bottom of the deck. Woo, beautiful. I just love Pisces readings. Okay, so there you are, Pisces, Queen of Emotions. Water, depths, emotional. She speaks her feelings. She expresses her feelings. So there's a truth, a light, and then there is an emotional depth to it, and a willingness to speak of it in community. In the Four of Inspiration, this is the Four of Wands. This is your people that get you, that you are your authentic self with. And more gorgeousness. The sexiest, I think the sexiest card in the deck is the Queen of Wands here, Queen of Inspiration, Queen of the Law of Attraction. I'm called to look here. So she has, always the Queen of Wands has a black kitty cat here. We have her with a magnificent cheetah. And these pyramids I never really noticed. It's like a lot of creative inspiration here. And the sun shining out, much like in this card. See that sunlight coming out. Beautiful truth. Two queens. It's almost, it could be also, you are one of the queens and there's another queen. It doesn't have to be a she, but another person. Here. It's because we have this, it's very often like your soulmate. It's one of the love cards, the marriage card very often. I don't read it that way. I read it as like the person or the people that you get to be your true authentic self with. I associate authenticity with the sun as well, because that is a card of total happiness and traditionally has a naked baby on a white horse, which I'm thinking of here. The sun card is not on the table, but the sun is being referenced here in multiple ways. I've done two readings already for two other mutable signs, and all of them have this beautiful future, sun, star, wish fulfillment, and I see it here for you as well. And everybody else is also an agent in making that happen, as she is. This person has come up already in Sagittarian's reading. Okay, Pisces, let's find out more. We are going to ask a question of all these planets that are involving themselves in our charts right now. We've got Jupiter, who has wrapped up a 12-year cycle in Pisces and has now begun a new one in Aries. It takes 12 years to go full orbit. And then we will ask of Mars, who has just moved into his exalted sign of Aries also. And then we will ask Mercury, what's going on? Mercury is revisiting some ideas, some concepts, maybe things communicated. So it looks like Mercury is going backwards and crossing territory and then coming back. So that's like, gives us a sense of getting to re-examine and revisit. Then we're going to ask what's going on with Venus. She is also getting into her home territory of Taurus, where she gets to enjoy the luxuries of life, the goddess of love. We'll ask what the tarot wants to tell you, and we'll ask what the future holds. So, let's see what's going on. So, we get a 5 of Swords here for Jupiter. This is not surprising, given what I've been seeing. So Jupiter, pulling up 5s today. 5 of Swords is a card of self-harm. It's a card of regret. That I won, but I won in a way that doesn't feel good to me. And we can see here, it's after the battle. You can see all the feathers, the ones that got hurt in the battle. It's not a good feeling. It's a cloudy day. And remember, we're looking ahead for sun. We're looking at, but there's the clouds blocking the sun there. And their Knight of Voices is also a Swords card. It's a Knight of Swords. So this is ideas, concepts, the mind. So those seem related to me. Okay, that's Jupiter. Mars, a Page of Swords. We get a little butterfly holding on to a stick. There's the truth. She could fly up and take it. Page of Swords is a curious, chatty energy. Real curious and open-minded. So that's what Mars is want to talk to us about. Again, I see the cloudy background and the bright monarch butterfly having access to the truth there. I was just looking again because you can see up here like there's this kind of, I was just wondering, is this her just out of a cocoon maybe? It makes me think of an 8 of Swords that I've seen in another deck. So, which is a feeling of being trapped in your mind. Mercury has us revisiting our recent ascension. So looking at the end of the last cycle. It's interesting that the bird is flying downward because this ascension or judgment is usually going up. So it's a very good revisit of, it's like judgment is, you get picked to go up to the next level, say of a video game of life. I always think of it, this is like we're doing these levels and we win the level and then we ascend to the next one. But because Mercury is backtracking and looking again at what just went down, we see this bird going downwards instead of upwards. So we'll find out more about that. Venus entering Taurus. Whew, yes, she is wanting to talk about pain here to you. A broken heart, yours or somebody else's. 10 of Swords. Ouch. The good news is, when you get here, you're done. You're done with the pain of the mind. You've finished a Swords cycle. So we've got a 5 of Swords, a Page of Swords, and now a 10 of Swords on the table. Venus wants to talk to you about a painful ending. The tarot wants you to know. 8 of Cups. This is that bird again. This is why you went. It's like you got somewhere and now you're like, well, I'm here, but there's something missing. So let me go back and look at this. So the tarot affirms that there is something missing that is the key to your fulfillment. So it's like you got somewhere, and I can see maybe you got there in a way that doesn't feel great. The truth is right there for you to grab hold of. It looks like you're going to go back and look at it again. And I just have this feeling that this is somebody else who got hurt here. It could be you. I mean, it hurts us. That's a 5 of Swords. It hurts us to hurt others. Oh, and there are all these birds. I mean, this deck is not only birds, but you are getting birds, right? So there's feathers here of somebody hurt. Birds are also about sword. You know, they're symbolic of the mind and air, swords. Yeah, but you have judgment as a bird that you were visiting. So you came somewhere, but this seems to be something that happened on the way there. Where you got hurt. And you're going to go look at that. Or I just almost feel like this bird isn't somebody else that got left behind. Yeah, and here's our Pegasus bird, right? The truth. It's not always the easy truth that comes in here. I mean, swords are difficult. So you end up here. This is cups. This is the emotions. Somebody hurt. Somebody discontent. It could be you. Future. Page of Cups. Light, fun, emotional new start. A little love message. Nothing big, but I can't help but notice that the missing cup is right here with this little otter. So if you're this bird who gets somewhere and is like, well, I don't really like how I got here and something's missing, there's this young heart that you can go, that is ahead of you, that lies ahead. I feel like a kid. I feel like somebody, like a child that got left behind and hurt really badly. Because you got somewhere you wanted to go, but you're actually not happy there without this one. So you're going to go back for that, or you're going to look at that. And it looks like in the future, that one is in your future. Whoa, okay. All right, let's see what else is underneath. Holy moly. Lots going on here. Deep stuff, not surprising with Pisces. Okay, there is communication, the Roadrunner, the 8 of Wands. Communication is good. There is the King of Wands, you being the leader in your life, or some other King of Wands, somebody else. Fire sign, Leo, could be any fire sign. But it's that kind of leader energy. Oh, I don't see that as, maybe that's you. High Priestess, what you intuitively know, the secrets. I feel like you already know the truth, right? Remember, we see this. This is the truth. This is, you already intuitively know this. The Fool. This is Jupiter energy, new beginning. This is a little rose offering. Let's see. These guys seem to be talking to each other. I get this parent-child energy going on in this reading. Take or leave, that could be just, and somebody waiting, looking at things from a new perspective. Maybe you've been thinking selfishly and now it's time to think unselfishly, or you're waiting on divine perspective. You hang upside down in the hangman until you see things in a new way. This is the truth. There's some kind of, everybody's getting this, and then there's a choice, or the Lovers. A choice. A choice. So there is actually like communication happening between you and this other. The Page of Cups, the Fool, I think, is this one that got hurt. You got somewhere without them. You're communicating intuitively, the High Priestess, and then also like maybe you indirectly. And then there's waiting for somebody to see things in a new way. I think this is you. You need to, it seems really simple, Pisces. Like, you did something out of your own interest, and somebody else got hurt. This somebody else is like your kid. It's a young energy person that looked up to you, that needs you, that loves you in a very Fool way, Page of Cups way, open-hearted, innocent. You're older, more mature, you've seen more. You've ascended to the next level. It's almost like you understand something that they don't understand. And so you were able to do this from your, like, oh, I know what's true, I know what's real. But then what's actually also true, you might be right, but it's also true that one you left behind got hurt. And then it's left you feeling like there's discontent, there's something missing. It's this one that's in the future. Cards say you get to have this ahead. It was very painful. So until you're kind of stuck until you see their perspective. And like, because I just see you're sure. You're like, I know what's right. I'm a big grown up wolf. Here. I guess that's supposed to be a wolf. I'm a big grown up wolf. But then there's this little silly heart who it's like you can feel the connection. I noticed the roses are red here, and those are actually pomegranates, but they came through to me as roses. So take or leave. Take whichever way you want to read it, but this one has a little white rose. Innocence. And then the Lovers. Okay, so the Lovers is a choice. It's a choice, as I like to explain, because I just like to dwell here. So the Lovers is your match on all levels. Heart, mind, soul, body. But it's a pretty big choice, and a lot of people don't choose that because it's scary. And so the Lovers is a choice, and so you can read it however you want. But it looks like this is the underlying energy. Crazy. There is a dilemma that is yours once you realize what's happening. If you need to, after I just told you what is happening. Okay? Yeah, so the Queen of Emotions and the Queen of Inspiration, this is you and this other. You get to be yourself. They really get you, this other. That's what the Four of Inspiration is. And you miss that. But they've turned away from you. But underneath, they're really missing you. Okay, let's clarify. From Jupiter, self-harm, regret at winning the way you won. Let's see. Keep getting fives there, so. Two of Wands. This was a vision. Vision of the world. There was a lot of momentum here. The Chariot can be heartless, fast, determined. It's what I got out of this fellow. Like, I know how the world works. I'm the alpha. I decide. That certainty, that's the Chariot, has that willpower. And then the Devil. Addiction, codependence, self-doubt, stories that you tell yourself that you don't deserve. Yeah, I mean, there was a vision, but you rode away from it because of the Devil, whatever. And this is what it looked like after that. This is the painful aftermath of really abandoning this really fun vision. Two of Wands. I say that you abandon it because that one has their back turned to the chariot, who is riding towards the devil. And the devil, I'm not afraid of the devil. It's just the devil is Capricorn. So Capricorns really, they understand how to integrate the devil better than I'm a Scorpio. So give me the death card, give me a lot of painful cards, and I'll help you with those. But I know the devil through my addiction. I know the devil through my codependence. I know the devil through the stories I tell myself that are about being unlovable. I know the selfishness and self-centeredness that comes out of that side that leads us here. Okay. The devil can also be like lusty. So lust could be a part of the motivation here. Chariot and the devil would suggest like a lot of sexual energy. Take or leave that. Okay. Page of Swords. All right, Pisces. So Mars says there's a truth. Fly up there and grab it. This is another young energy, chatty, curious, social media. Let's see. 3 of Discs. This is again that vision, that world that I feel like you walked away from this. You're going to build something with somebody. You're going to make something real. It's the same vision. It's this. You're going to make a world together. It was going to take 3 of you. And this was the plan. It was very fun. Everybody has something they bring to this. And you each have a piece. You can see they each have a piece. And you bring each piece and you make it. Somebody has the plan. Somebody has the skills. Somebody has the finances. And you make it real. So that was that. And there was the Hierophant. Structural power. It could be church, state. There's the sun coming out from behind his head, just like we've been seeing here and here. That's absolute happiness and authenticity, the sun. I find this Hierophant to be kind of creepy. Like, look at his eyes. It's like he's blocking the sun. What else? Death. Transformation. The Death card looks into transformation and finds the truth. And then you rise from this pain. You ended this vision. And again, I feel this certainty that in you, that you Pisces, your card's the moon. It's like you go into darkness. You can explore your own darkness. You have like access to a very deep and scary truth that way. You're sensitive. You're more like you're dreamy, but you're sensitive too. So Mars is telling us like you have just had all this action in Pisces, all this planning, and it was transformative. And in that process, a truth emerged. And it has caused you to abandon the old vision of the world. Like the Hierophant is telling me that you resolved to walk away from what was. And it was very painful and very dramatic. And You did it because you encountered a truth. So that's interesting. I have been for a long time really loving reading Pisces because you've been like doing some fun stuff, and there's always like secrets, and I don't know what you're doing, but it looks like you've had access to something. So now you're revisiting. You're revisiting judgment. Like you went somewhere else, and now you're kind of coming back and looking at like, was that recent decision to go to the next place of my life correct? You get a Four of Discs. This is a card about control. You know, you've got your four little things that you made, and you have your tiny little world. And look, there's a big giant world out there. So I feel like the Four of Discs is the world that was envisioned, that was built, that you rode away from on your chariot, that you faced the devil for, that you walked through death over. And like, yeah, there's judgment again. There's the birds flying up. And Six of Cups. There's that young, open-hearted energy with all of the big fantasies, a ship sailed by butterflies. There's so we've got butterflies happening, my dear Pisces. You got this one who has access to the truth, and you've got that butterfly right there outside this little world. I feel like this was where you went. You went up. Up, and this is where you went. Yep. I see why you wanted to go there, my dear. It's beautiful. You get to be like a kid there. It's the cups are your feelings, it's inner child, it's soulmate connection, it's past lives, it's kind of undefended love. That's where you went. You left like a world that felt small and confining. It's almost like you left COVID isolation and went out into the world. But when you did that, and this is Venus's message to you, somebody's heart got broken. Let's see. It's hard for me because I know a lot of Pisces, and I'm like, you know, but I don't know everything about the Pisces I know. So anyway, it's not my business, but I'll tell you what the cards say. Okay. Venus says, the moon, there's your card. This is you. It's very math. It's very, so moon is secrets, illusions. We've got which dog is going to be fed. Here's the sky underneath the water, the stars, star wish fulfillment. We've got towers that are using science. We've got this Egyptian symbol. So this is all about the known world. And then under the surface, the unknown world, unexplored. Really a world that's like, it's like a kid drew it. And it's so, yeah, it's such a contrast between the scientific known world. This is the Neptunian dreamy. Math doesn't work down here, right? It's also a grown-up perspective and a child's perspective. That's why it just keeps coming through to me. I just feel like a very sad little kid. There's a 10 of Cups here. Family. It's a finishing of a cup cycle. Achieving that emotional fulfillment as a family. And the 7 of Wands. Resistance. Beautiful. Willpower used to resist. To have integrity too. That's the first time I've seen the 7 of Wands in this deck. I love her. I'm always a big fan for any kind of Amazonian figure. You, you're. This is about the other one. This other one that has a broken heart. Um, you made a world that was grown up, according to grown up logic, and they were left in the world of fantasy with a broken heart. And so I just feel like there's, because of this dynamic here that we saw with, the big grown up wolf, and then there's this intuitive connection here. It seems like the other one, the one that got hurt, it has cut off communication. They're resisting you with a great exertion of will. And it's because you chose a bigger world. You chose to go to a bigger world. You left the little one that you made with them. And it could be the other way, like that, you're the young one, the fool that sets off on a journey. And in doing that, maybe you left your family home. You went on a, you have to move out of home. Somebody got hurt in that. Yeah. Okay. That's what Venus wants you to know. That's about them, the other person that got hurt. And they're not responding. They may not be receiving your messages, because it looks like you're communicating, and then this can mean there's an intuitive connection. It can also mean the silent treatment. Moon says that too. Silent treatment. You don't get to know. This says that too. Silent treatment. Okay. What the tarot wants you to know. There is something missing. It's an emotional piece. The lack of contentment. I feel like it's this connection that is missing. This one. Because it's real sweet. Be missing that. But it was almost like that felt like your world was too small. Or somebody... Okay. The Emperor. Mr. Decisive. There's that sun again, blocked by all that decisiveness. Happiness is blocked. It's almost like you made a decision from a grown-up Emperor place, and it ended up like, even though you're right, like this is the result. It's a real gray day. You're blocking the sun. You're blocking... there's the Ten of Swords again. There's that broken heart. Ouch. And there's a King of Wands. Okay, same guy here. King of Wands. Okay. Boy, there's a lot of alpha energy. And you guys are going in two different directions. Strong wills. It's because there is an unamended Ten of Swords here. Two strong-willed people are not talking. Because one chose to leave for a bigger world because the world was too small. And the other one felt heartbroken by that. We have more access to that. It's like a kid and a grown-up, and maybe each of you think you have access to the adult true philosophy, and the other is thinking like a child. But it's that far of a divide. And then we see the two alpha males of the tarot, King of Wands and the Emperor, with their backs to one another with this Ten of Swords between them. This is leaving you feeling discontent. There's something missing. It's a stalemate. Yep. It is a stalemate. And the future, though, is lovely. Let's see what happens ahead. A little Page of Cups. Let us see. Prince of Wands, another young energy, the outsider, the queer, one that sees things. So you think you have access to the truth. You're revisiting what you made a decision based on what to you was the right decision at the time. There's this other little Page of Cups who's like, I think you might be wrong. That's the Prince of Wands energy. Look at it this way. Look at it through my eyes, right? I've got the science. You're right. Your art looks like kindergarten. I look at what I made, look at what you made, right? So there are these two truths. And so there's insomnia, anxiety. This is, look at what's going on in that mind. Yikes, worms and centipedes and bugs. That's insomnia and anxiety. Excellent portrayal of that, I would say. And then there's a Nine of Cups. This is fulfillment. Boy, I just get that choice here. The Lovers, which way are you going to go? Which nine are you going to go towards? Underlying energy. This makes me sad. I feel sadness. I mean, this is not my pain. But it makes me sad. Okay. There was something really old that a lot of time and effort was put into. Seven of Pentacles. Here's the Five of Swords. Another version of it. It's a really good version of obsessing. This is you going over and over and over. This is true, this is true. And it's like a wheel and you can't get off it because you might be missing something here. When you get the Sixth Sword, the Six of Swords is changing your mind. So in a Five of Swords, if you're committed to being right, you're just going to go around and around and around justifying what happened. There's the mind again, though. This is a Five of Wands. Love this Medusa. She's got all these creative ideas, all this willpower. It's competition. She's got lots of choices of how to go about things. This is the other one. This is not you. This is the other one. Or this is you and they're the Five of Swords. But you can reverse this if you want. I can't possibly do that for you. So you could be the victim here in the story. You could be this one who's like, you don't see me. You don't see me. Look how beautiful I am. Oh, you can't look at me. I'll turn you to stone. This is this one. Yeah. This one. I'm turning my back to you. Strong will in this one. Eyes will turn you to stone. And then, beautifully, I think, because remember what the tarot told us is that when you need to change something, there's discontent. You get the Emperor here and the King of Wands, these two alpha male figures. What do we get underlying? The opposite. We get the Empress. And she doesn't need the Emperor, but she is his equal. She represents earth, nature, the feminine to his masculine. And we get the Queen of Wands as well. She is the queen of the law of attraction. She can make the world the way she wants it. It's a different methodology, and she makes me think very much of this one, right? Because look, she's got all the wands with all of the tools of the flowers, just like this one. Yeah. So you guys built something together that got destroyed by somebody coming to a realization and leaving. And it was a very compelling realization. It's radical, it's revolutionary, it's forward thinking, Pisces. I think that's you. it's wise, it's informed, it's mathematical seeming. But somebody else who thinks that you draw like a child, they're the mathematician, they're the smart one, they see the world and they see it in a true way, but it's very different from how you see it, has been hurt and left behind. It looks like you felt that your world was confining and you needed to get out to a bigger world. And they are pissed and they won't talk to you because you guys made this world together. You envisioned it together. You made it real together. It looked like this. It was joy. Joy. It looked like this. Oh yeah. And remember we got the Empress and the Queen of Wands. Well, they're Queen of Wands again. That's her. That's this other person. And then here's you, Pisces, with your insight. And you live underwater, and she lives in the desert. You live in different worlds, different. They are to you the Prince of Wands. You are to them the Prince of Wands. You're like foreigners to one another. But you're also, you make each other complete in a way. And so there's loss and choice and a decision. And it looks like, this is making me cry. Anyway, it looks like you get to have a change of perspective, moving out of this alpha male backs to each other, resistance place, into this more feminine, receptive place. And it doesn't mean to me that you end up together, but we do see you having this Page of Cups in your life in the future, and I feel like that's what the result of you having this transformative, this change of your mind. It's like the clouds lift and you see the sun. It will come through. And right now, though, you're blocking it. You're blocking it with your refusal to see things from their side. And it looks like really painful for them. And you feel discontent. So that is my message for you, Pisces. I hope this helps. Let me know if you feel like it. I'd love to know, like, this is a biggie. All right. Have a beautiful day.